Okay, so this is part 2 of finding the lateral area and surface area of a cone. We're going to skip over part A and look at part B because we're just finding the lateral area, and this time we're rounding to the nearest tenth. One of the special things about part B is this guy. We need to find our slant height. This time it's not given, although in this one it's given here. So finding the lateral area, we are going to need the radius and the slant height. Finding the slant height comes from looking at this right triangle that's been built by our height and our radius of our circle. So our radius is 8, height is 6 yards. So you can use the Pythagorean theorem. You can also notice that this is a special right triangle. It's a triple. So if we have 6 squared plus 8 squared plus, equals. My slant height squared, my slant height is 10. So I'm going to plug in what I know, pi times the radius times the slant height. And since my answer should be rounded to the nearest tenth, I'm just going to plug in that pi, or you can do 3.14. That will affect your rounding a little bit, but you should be in the same place. So it's yards squared there. Next question is very similar. We have our cone. We're given a radius. We're given a height. Unfortunately, we are not given a slant height. So our height, 21.6, and radius of our circle, our base there, is 8. So finding the lateral area, we're going to plug in the radius that we know, and we're going to need to find that slant height. So slant height is our hypotenuse, and it's 8 squared plus 21.6 squared. And if you plug that in and then take the square root, you'll get around 23.03. I kept it in my calculator, and that might affect the rounding just a little bit. But if we write 23.03 and that's what you put in, that's okay as well. And we want our approximate answer, 0.9 and then squared. All right, and then the last one, we have a cone with a diameter of 10 inches. So if our diameter is 10 inches, the thing we need is pi r squared. So we need the radius. So our radius is actually going to be half of that diameter, 5. And so pi times 5, and let's look for our slant height. It has been given to us, thank goodness. So we're plugging that guy in as well. And this is still in the section where we round, so we're going to go 13 times 5 pi. And we'll get 204.2 inches squared. The next two are basically the same thing. You're just going to add the area of the base that you're looking for. Here for F, only difference is, again, we'll be trying to find the slant height. So we just want to do 2 squared plus square root of 2 equals that slant height squared. And we get 2. And so it's the square root of 6 for our slant height. Everything else follows. You'll just plug it into your formula, LA pi times the radius times the slant height.